Welcome to Formnext 2024, here at the melting spot of additive manufacturing worldwide. We are looking forward to 4 exciting days here in Frankfurt, bringing to you all aspects of additive manufacturing worldwide.
We, that means actually Frank Jablonski.
And Sven Krause.
Thank you so much.
I'm so very happy that you're here with me on stage, and I'm not alone on this fabulous stage here. You know, it's incredible. It's larger than the last year's stage.
Yeah.
We mentioned that yesterday, and so it's so nice to have you with me. But the audience, what can you expect from us here? We will keep you informed on the 4 exhibition days about product innovations, about the topics and the trends of additive manufacturing worldwide. We will have a lot of discussion panels here and presentations. And Sven, the audience, can they participate as well?
Absolutely. I mean, we listened to your feedback and we wanted to give you the chance to participate as much as you want. So first of all, if you couldn't make it to Formnext, that's really a pity. We are so sorry. But don't be afraid. You can follow us via our LinkedIn live stream. The best thing is you can ask us questions and give us comments live here on stage. So if you look here, we have LinkedIn open. The 2 of us will look on your comments, and whenever suitable, we will ask the question to the panel on the stage.
I'm so glad that you checked it this morning, because we were not so quite sure how it really worked out, but we are trying our best here on the stage. What are the next highlights here on this stage this morning that will be designed for manufacturing?
That's an awesome panel, for sure.
Yeah, we have a panel and we have some presentations to this topic as well. And we will expect a lot of visitors. I think so, because we have some traffic jam outside. People wanting to come to our stage here. They are stuck in this traffic jam, but I'm sure we will get them here right on time. Yeah, what is your highlight today?
Actually, the funny thing is the first day is always the most amazing and exciting day, because today in the afternoon you will experience our Pitch Next event in a totally new format. We will have fantastic startups presenting their ideas here on stage. So I'm super excited, to be honest, to be hosting that.
Yeah, that is a great point this evening. But now let's start with our morning talks. I'm very happy that we have here the managers who make this all happen with us.
So welcome, please, on stage, Petra Haarburger.
And Sascha Wenzler.
Petra, grüß dich. Hey.
Hi Frank.
Alles gut?
Ja, danke.
Sascha, grüß dich. Alles gut? Good morning.
Ja, all good.
Petra.
Mal wieder.
Please, have a seat.
Every year, it's nice again being here.
It's so
Sort
good.
of like
It's so good to have
like
you on
coming
stage.
home.
Yeah.
Coming home.
Every year it gets more comfortable on stage,
True.
isn't it?
Better chairs.
Every year the chairs are more comfortable.
Yeah, but they are a bit heavy. You know, if you have to carry them around, they are slightly heavier than last year. Petra, you have a very busy time. You're coming right from Nuremberg, not today, but last week was a very busy day for you, busy week for you in Nuremberg. From your perspective, what did you bring with you? Let's say you had the automation fair SPS in Nuremberg, and that's always a great show for the automation community.
I think for me it was the best warming up for this event, I would say, because what we could see is, you know, it was so great that the people came together in these challenging times that we all have, and that you could feel that exhibitions are even more important when the times are tough. Yeah, because people got together, you could see they talked about business, and I think they really got a good impulse from these 3 days that we had in Nuremberg, and me too, actually, because I think it was really just what we all live for, what we love to do, bringing the right people together, and you could just feel and see that it was even more important to do this in these times.
So you have the broader view about the mood in the economy and in the companies. Is it when you compare SPS and automation with additive manufacturing, is it the same, or do you experience here a different kind of mood coming to the economical questions right now?
I think if you look at automation, it's definitely a very mature technology. Yeah, I think automation's been there, I would say not forever, but even SPS has been there for more than 30 years. So you can see this really matured. But I do think that automation and additive manufacturing belong together, because I think this is what we talk about here on the show floor, is getting really seamless streams of whole production chains, and this is not happening without automation. And I do think what is great, or the little bit of a difference is, I think the AM sector is very innovative. So I think also there you can sort of, one brings something to the other. So I think, yeah, one is the broader, more mature technology, and this is maybe more of a niche, and but something where you need automation as well, and which is also really important at the moment, as innovation is needed heavily in tough times as well.
So you are very. I take that you're happy with the exhibition then,
Yeah.
and with the starting of the exhibition today.
Yeah, as I said, for me it was a perfect ramp up, but also seeing that I think both technologies need each other somehow. Yeah, one doesn't work without the other. So I think it was really cool to see that, and which makes me even more happier, I would say, being here now, having a lot of full days, I think, within the next 4 days, but also hopefully lots of happy faces and good business being done on the show floor.
And brought some servo motors with you for the machines here in the hall. Sven.
Yeah, which is absolutely the taking over to Sascha, indeed. You mentioned automation as a very important thing and a mature industry. Sascha, I read in a recent interview, and it fits to what Petra said, that we are in a maturing phase. Where do we see that at Formnext? And I think automation is a key topic as well, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's a growing up industry, and it already grew up quite a lot in the last 2 or 3 years towards becoming a real serious manufacturing technology in a manufacturing environment. And that's what we can experience here around. We have this year 864 companies showing what they are.
More than last year,
It's
right?
even slightly more, which is exceptional in the economical environment we have right now. Many sectors can use additive manufacturing in their production lines, and it's growing. The number is growing in the applications, and it's industrial applications, and that's what you can see here and experience here. And just to give you some examples what's happening, and many of the cases are well known, some of them are not so well known. You have the dental sector. There, additive manufacturing already is not only mature, it's a standard to use additive manufacturing. A lot of things are happening in medtech. You have flying parts in aerospace, in space or in aircrafts. You have digital warehouses, like for example with Daimler trucks. You have digital warehouses in the beginning where the Deutsche Bahn has a lot of collaboration and cooperation with other railway industries. So it already found its place in industrial environment, and this is developing very fast. It needs automation, it needs line integration, it needs process integration. These are some of the buzzwords we already heard last year, but more and more this year. We have an overall topic of sustainability all over the industry, the manufacturing industry, and additive can make a good contribution to this topic as well. So yeah, it's maturing, it's growing up. We are growing up, and the community is growing up.
We have an interesting presentation tomorrow from Terry Wohlers. He will show some more in detailed facts and figures about what you were saying right now. So if you're interested in more in-depth information about the markets, make sure to zoom in Terry Wohlers' presentation tomorrow.
Yeah, one thing is for sure. I mean, we can see it tomorrow is a very good example. When I read the program of tomorrow, which I highly recommend, by the way, I could see it's all about business cases, and it's no longer about I have a fancy experiment here or a new idea. It's really more about bring it into serial production, a fixed part of our today's production, a way to optimize. So this is what, at least from my experience, and this is where I totally agree with you. We are matured already. It's the task of Formnext to show off a little bit so that the people realize it's already in place, right, Petra? What do you think?
I think you're very right, and I think what you said is it really reflects it, because I think at the very beginning there was a lot of investment money also in this industry, because people thought they could print everything, and it was like a hype. And I think this is also something which is normal when you mature, that this more gamification thing, or you can do everything, is no longer existing. And so I think for some companies it was painful as well. Some companies are not there anymore. And I think this is also something we see, that consolidation is something which is also a sign that a technology or industry matures. So as I said, there's always two sides to the story. And I think at the end, the winners somehow are the ones who really have the business cases, are the ones we see here. To really see how to integrate it into industrial production. I think this is the case, and still going on, and still something where I think lots of opportunities are still there. And then I think this is what will happen here. This is where people will talk about it and maybe find new applications, find new partners, partnering up. I think this is what an exhibition or this event is about.
Yeah, it's a perfect marketplace. It's the most international marketplace. And all the relevant players are here in these four halls. And it's also what we heard last year and this year especially as well, it's about collaboration. Because additive manufacturing still has a very high complexity. There are many different technologies, many different materials, a lot of high complex processes which needs to be controlled in a manufacturing environment. And all this is only possible in a collaborative effort. And the companies now understand this as well. So it's not only about talking about one really nice fancy printer or printing machine. When you talk about the process, you need different steps in the process covered by different players and companies. And they need to collaborate because the customer is interested in a solution.
And not in a technology.
And not in a single machine. And that's what's happening here, and it's perfect to have it on a show floor because the customer can tour around and the companies can take him by the hand and show what's possible in a solution way and not in a single machine way.
Yeah, an end-to-end solution. I think this is also important to see the whole thing, and not just a little piece of it. And I also think, because it was really interesting, we had a press breakfast this morning, and that we had really cool talks. Also, we heard that also the companies found out that because it's so complex, you need I think Carsten told about a manual, that also they now collaborate more, the bigger companies, to access this industry easier and to show that solutions, you don't have to find them yourself, but you have real good partners who know how to deal with it and to help you find the right solution for your problem somehow, or your challenge. And I think this is also something that shows the matureness now, that people really come together and try to make people understand what additive manufacturing can do, but that it's not something that you just print. You just really have to integrate it and look at the specific application.
And maybe to amend this, and it's a painful process. Because when you become industrial, you need to answer not so nice questions from CEOs, from CFOs, and they are not flashed by a technology. They
flash by the numbers.
They need value.
They need numbers.
They need numbers, they need value, and in some very special cases, additive can give an answer to this. but it will not be a technology solving all of the problems of manufacturing, but it can contribute to certain solutions.
And I think certain solutions can only be found through additive manufacturing. I think this is something which is so cool. Yeah, we had this. Do you remember when we were at IMTS? I see our friends there, and that there was you had a panel discussion, and I think one lady said it came from we can print everything to we could print some to now we need additive manufacturing in certain applications because it's the only technology that solves certain challenges. And I think this is very interesting and also reflects what we talk about at the moment. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned the colleagues from US. When you take the international perspective and place Formnext into that whole business, how do you assess this picture? We have China as a very big market. We have Australia as partner country. Maybe you want to add one comment here as well. Why Australia? And we have Europe. Where are we? And for sure US. Where are we in the market?
Yeah, so we follow a clear strategy. This strategy is embedded here in the Messe Frankfurt Group from its heritage. That's placing the mother show, like we call it, the most international and relevant trade fair here on the fairground in Frankfurt, and then spread it all over the world to locations where the certain technologies are relevant. And that's the case when we have an exhibition in China, in Shenzhen, for example, and we always locally adapt the concept, because it's not possible just to wrap everything here up and place it somewhere else. So we adapt it together with our colleagues in the sister companies. And therefore we have a forum in Japan, for example, which is more a conference style. And we have the strategy for the US, where, we planned to launch a show next April. And here on this stage, together with our partners in 21, we already announced our plan and our strategy and our date. But since then, a couple of years passed by. We had serious economical changes, serious geopolitical changes, and within the industry, we have a clash of dates for next year in April. And therefore, it was our joint decision to say, hey, we still believe in our strategy, in our partnership, because it's a perfect partnership for the US market, but it was not the right time and not the right frame around it. So we said, hey, we need to postpone, and we look for the next date opportunity to place this show in the US. When you look at your strategy from your company, and when you look at the additive market worldwide, does it fit, or is the strategy very much focused on the markets, or is there a gap between these? Also, my question is, when you talk about the markets, which market is really more mature than the other? Where do we have to focus on, maybe on a scale that the government should go in the front line and help to achieve markets in Europe? It's a question, or when you compare that with US or China? Yeah, that's a good point, for example, for Australia. Because in Australia, you have the whole additive manufacturing ecosystem on the continent. For us, it's a little bit far away, but the Australians, for them, there's no distance in long distance traveling. And when I visited there, I experienced it as well. You have the whole ecosystem there, and you have a very strong governmental support of industries, not only of additive manufacturing industry, but in general of industries. And I think that's necessary also in a European perspective, for example, where you need support for the industry. The US is doing it very well, and China is doing it very well, all in a different way. But this supporting of industries is necessary to keep an economy running. That's Quite simple.
Is it a question of the German government or a question of the European government or both?
Germany is not alone on the planet, and you have Europe around us. You have European big regulation system around us. It's not always the easiest one, but there are 2 points. One is Europe as a whole, and Germany as an industrial base needs to come back on the feet again, and all of us know at the moment that some sectors and industries like automotive are suffering, and in a time when the automotive industry in Germany is suffering, then you directly have mechanical engineering affected, and this engine needs to run again a little bit smoother than now, and this needs governmental guidelines.
So even more important that we get into the collaboration again.
Exactly.
Because what I experienced over the last few years, I mean, additive manufacturing, you can't look at it on a national basis. It's always a very international or worldwide business. And that's why what I would be interested, I mean, we all know that Australia is at the moment, let's say, a very vivid community, super successful, super driving in the AM field. So what was the selection criteria, and what can we expect here from Australia on the fair?
Yeah, so Australia is following, for example, we started, I think, with the US as the prime AM market worldwide in 19 with the partner country concept. Then we had our digital year where China was the partner country. Then followed by Italy, France, and the Nordic countries.
Last year.
That was the Nordic region, because the single countries like Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and Finland, as single countries, were a bit small. But when you look at the whole Nordic market, this made also sense. It's from us the way of putting a spotlight on the additive manufacturing ecosystem in a country or in a region, and therefore Australia came on the map, because you will experience it as well. There is a nice pavilion, and we have a lot of content program on the different stages also here with you guys. In Australia there's everything. You have governmental support, you have universities, you have institutes, and you have manufacturers, suppliers of additive, and you have user industries, very special ones, like the exploration industry or the defense industry, which are very big drivers, aerospace, and Australia is an export-orientated country. So they do a lot of business worldwide, and therefore these are the criteria we look on. Also the growing of the use, the applications of additive, and that was the reason why we have Australia this year as a partner country.
And I think you also will have a panel here which shows how does Australia support the additive manufacturing. And I think this is also something where people can learn from each other, on this meta level somehow. How does a government support an industry? How does it work? Because I think maybe sometimes also, I don't know, maybe our politicians can learn from them as well. Yeah, it's not only on the actual technical level, but also on how does the ecosystem work. And this is, I think, what this panel here is also about, how does this work? How do they really get AM into the market? How do the different players work together? And I think, as I said, collaboration is, again, I think, the terminus that we talk about. We have to learn from each other and look at how to overcome a certain challenge that we have. And I think this will only work together and not everybody by himself.
Looking at our panel discussions, I think that's the really right place to be, to bring partners together and to have discussions and to learn from each other, and that the audience can take something home and new aspects.
Or ask
new
their
learnings.
questions, as you said. Maybe they have a question as well and want to have their questions answered.
Yeah. Sven,
Yeah, I just wanted to ask one question. As we are already in our journey via the fair without even having a clear plan, I mean, this year new Formnext Awards, pretty new thing. Sorry, I need to ask the question as I'm moderating the pitch next and Frank is moderating the award session. So what was the idea behind? And I mean, I love the concept, to be honest. I like the way we defined specific award sections. So what was the idea behind and why it was changed this way?
Yeah, it's also a bit of framing the different spotlights. When we look back over the last, we started 2015. Then we suddenly recognized, hey, there are many single, let's say, unmanaged challenges here going on with different awards. And that's also a little bit confusing for the attendees at the end. And then we said, hey, maybe it's a good idea to frame this in a new award concept, and maybe to bring in also, in this case, not only the existing ones, like the design. We had the design concept, the startup challenge running. So there were already different single concepts, but maybe also bring in some new ideas, fresh ideas, like, for example, an award for companies not already existing. So it's the rookie. Yeah, it's the rookie award, because when you look in the market of additive, there is a very large and big maker scene. A lot of really young people are impressed by the technology, use the technology. They are very open in collaboration, in exchange. But Formnext is a pure B2B trade fair. It's about investments, it's about machinery, it's about bringing professionals together. But these young ladies and gentlemen, they are the next generation coming.
And you need fresh ideas.
And they bring in fresh ideas.
And it's good to bring these ideas on stage.
They ask interesting questions. They have out-of-the-box solutions. And that's a group which is not purely B2B, because they are too young to have a company.
Awesome.
But it's great for also the existing companies and the experts to meet these guys, because every company needs next generation people and colleagues. So that was also the idea, to bring in these fresh ideas in the challenge or in the award concept. And now we have 6 categories running, and also a public award is included, because here that's the audience, that's the attendees, that's the experts, and we wanted to include them as well. So that's the frame.
And I think I think this is also
one
strategy.
sentence, and it fits to the Thursday program, because we have skills and talents there, and a lot of good programs for young people or for employees who want to come here and look for another job. So that fits very much, and they can step by here and can watch the award ceremony. Sorry, Petra.
No, it's okay. I think because you asked why. At the end, it's our strategy. It's our Formnext strategy, it's our Misago strategy at the end, that we said we wanted to create these technology hubs and to really bring beneficial things to the industry and bring them together. So at the end, it's a logical step to leverage that somehow and to really bring value to all the communities being here. And I think this is what we're here for. This is what the expo here is happening now 4 days, sorry. And then we do different things all over the year. So I think at the end, it's really bringing the right things to the communities and to getting the right people together in the right formats to, at the end, help the industry getting more mature, getting into the industrial production. At the end, this is where the circle sort of closes. And this is, I think, what's our mission somehow. And that's why it was also logical to bring in a really good award concept.
A perfect final sentence, Petra. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Petra, for being with us. Thank you very much, Sascha. Sven, it was again a pleasure together with you on stage. Dear audience, we will have our next highlight here on stage with our first presentation for DFAM, Design for Additive Manufacturing. And after a short break, we will start with our program. So make sure to be there with you.